Aloha! It is Queen Mabsy of Queen Mabsy LLC. Now I'm showing you my POV of my screen. I am here to tell you about this week's astrology. Yay! So, hi. So, hi. Blah. What a solstice hangover I have. The solstice, the summer solstice, the time in the northern hemisphere that is the longest day of the year. In the southern hemisphere, it's the shortest day of the year because of the way the sun moves around, or we move around the sun, blah, blah, blah. So, we have, I say in a lot of so's. So, what does the word so mean? So also sounds like sew, S-E-W, sew. I'm weaving together my thoughts for this week's astrology. And as I do that, I will go here. Yes, I did set myself up for a little bit more peace and ease today. And let's see if it is on here. This is. It's easier to do it on the computer while I'm talking to yours. How was everyone's solstice? Well, as soon as I do this, and then so yesterday I had a beautiful day. My friend Creative, who has a beautiful service as well, she's on this Facebook group. She has a subscription service where you can do yoga. Oh, there, I can hear my echo. So she teaches you yoga and lots of fun things. So we do yoga on the beach together, and she teaches. She's a great yoga instructor. Happy to have her in my community and call her friend, and collaborate with her as well, and have her here in the new Paradigm Healing Academy, Ohana. I found myself quite weepy during class, and I was moving quite a lot of emotions, and Tiffany had said, bring stuff to charge, in the sunshine, during class. And I completely spaced out on bringing any of my crystals, or I have lots of crystals and things. My mom wrapped these ones. But then I realized what I had brought to charge was my tears. My water was brought to charge underneath the sun. So that's magical, because sometimes, you just gotta let it out, because a lot of the feelings that we be feeling, if you are in this space, a lot of them might not even belong to you. Might belong to those old core belief systems that we're dissolving, flitting away. Oh my goodness. If somebody would just tag at everyone for me, that would be great. Whoever happens to hop on. I'm also on a little early, and I'm gonna let that just take all of my worries away. Thanks, Tiffany, for that one. That one's always helpful, since we have an abundance of airplanes to take all of our thoughts away around here. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. Get to it. There we go, finally. the summer solstice. Now we're on the heels of that. The sun yesterday moved from the 29th degree of Gemini, the last degree of Gemini, and into the sun sign of Cancer. This is what we call a cardinal sign, which means it begins, it's a sign that begins also with the season. In the northern hemisphere, it begins summer. In the southern hemisphere, it begins winter. And we also have Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer in the later degrees. So if you were born closer to the end of Cancer season, happy solar return to all the beautiful Cancer water signs. Now, you are a motion, energy in motion. You mark the beginning of shifts, a seasonal shift. Your glyph is a crab. A crab has a soft inner body that is protected by a hard outer shell. It moves sideways so that it can get out of the way and keep its eyes on its predators. It has claws, so it can be really peachy when it's being defensive. And is ruled by the moon. And we are in a first quarter moon. So when you look up at the sky and you see a half a moon, that's called the first quarter, as it is waxing and becoming full. During the solstice, the moon was traveling through Virgo, and we were having a bit of a polarity between the sun transiting and pulling a little bit, tugging at our fear programs for Lilith hanging out in Sagittarius. Now, if you Sagittarius have been facing some fears or false evidence appearing real programming, that is because the anti-moon, or the place where the moon is the farthest from, no, actually it's not the anti-moon, but it's where the moon is farthest from the Earth, mathematical point. Hi, Mom. My mom is here. With this opposition between the sun and Lilith, we were facing some fear programs around containing our feelings. So I feel like we are in society taught that it is better to contain your feelings and not to express them, because feelings will get you in trouble and cause problems, which we do have a lot of hard evidence for that to be true, especially when feelings lead to unpreferred actions. However, if whatever we suppress, repress, and deny, whatever we resist persists, it just it forms from the energy body, and then it seeps in and creates physical manifestations of those things. So it is better in the long run to address feelings and face them, so that we can then learn how to dissolve them. That's Neptune in Aries, calling for us to dissolve the old belongings, the old thought patterns that the collective has held on to from intergenerational trauma that is held within the water of our bodies, in our epigenetics and the ancestral DNA programming. In order to dissolve said fear programs, it takes some time. Saturn in Aries is reminding us to believe in the love of where we belong in our bodies. Chiron has moved into Taurus in the 0 degrees of Taurus. Now 0 degrees is the beginning of the sign. It is like an egg. It's like a container. And this is the Taurus container. With Mars, the trailblazer, the warrior, the egomaniac at times, also in Taurus. He is also helping us with our belonging with our right feelings, and opening up to how we can manifest through moving those feelings. Move. Emphasis on movement in Taurus. Taurus is a builder and a maker and a manifester. They are methodical and they are reliable. Not fast, but reliable. You want it done, or you want it done right, is the motto of the Taurus. And do you want it beautiful? Then beauty takes time. Saturn's a very slow planet. So all the Aries are kind of getting, Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, and now Aries are going to get a little bit of relief from their Chironic journey, while Chiron stays in Taurus for the next 3 months. And then Taurus is going to review those points in October. Chiron is going to go back into Aries and review the last few degrees of Aries and remind us how we do what we do with our bodies, and test our new daily routines that we've learned through the North and South Node transits in Pisces and Virgo. Because with the South Node of where we have collectively been is still at 3 degrees, which is our beliefs. Dissolving old beliefs about our daily habits and routines. With the North Node in Pisces at 3 degrees, it is activating our collective unconscious belief system. The water in our bodies is being the plasma is being highly activated by these transits. This solar return, albeit in, as the sun starts, you think summer solstice, you're going to think hot, warm, longest day of the year. Yes. However, it's 0 degrees Cancer, which is a water sign. So, with Neptune and Aries, it might have seemed that it dried out the emotions a little. But with Jupiter there, it is really expanding our decisions about our feelings and what we are manifesting. Mercury in Cancer is reprogramming and nurturing this new belief system about our feelings, which is reprogramming our thoughts. So very powerful solstice. This week we have some transits on June 22nd today. We have the first quarter moon in Libra. Libra is about equanimity. Cancer, we're in the sun sign of Cancer. It's ruled by the moon. This morning when I looked at the chart, I posted in my community page on Facebook, on YouTube actually. I'm trying to learn how to do that. But if you are watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And I do have a donate button as well. Because I need to eat. And so, the sewing. I'm sewing. The astrology this morning when I looked at the chart was like, whoa, it was like this square. It was like just the way the moon was at the time. And it moved. The moon takes some 2 days about to go through each sign. And so it affects those signs. That's why I call this MoonDaze, because I'm pointing out what's happening with the astrology with a slight emphasis on what the moon does day by day and how you're gonna feel, because the moon rules feelings, because it pulls the tides of the planet, and we're made of water, and emotions are energy in motion. So, and lunatics come out at the full moon. You know, all of those stereotypes. The moon affects our feelings. It affects the woman's menstrual cycle, and it definitely affects how plants grow. I'm preaching to the choir, I know. So why does astrology perhaps work as a divination tool or art form? Because these archetypes that we've named these planets just synchronistically happen to have documented metaphorical echoes with what humans experience. And then it becomes kind of a science, because it's got data. You need data for science. So, for those who say astrology is not a real science, it's kind of an art and science thing. But anyway, it's just, it's interesting. And I won't, and definitely it's, when Johannes Kepler, who was an astronomer and astrologer alive at the time where the church split up astronomy and astrology, he said, when it comes to throwing out astrology and astronomy, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. So that's just my little soapbox about that. With the moon in Libra today, as it moves into Libra, the square aspect of you might have felt some emotion or like stagnancy, like I can't get anywhere. And then as the day progressed, things kind of lightened up, because we have a air trine right now between the moon in Libra, Pluto in Aquarius, and Uranus and Gemini, which I will show you like this. Yeah, old school. See, so this is what we call a grand air trine. Boop. And then this is also forming a kite. See, this is two planets opposed to each other, the Sun and Neptune. Neptune in Aries. The moon in Libra and Neptune in Aries. And then we have Pluto. We have Pluto in Aquarius here. And then we have Uranus in Gemini here. You can tell Uranus because he looks like the little Death Star thing from Star Wars. Every time you see Uranus, you're gonna think a little Darth Vader in there. Wow! Luke, I am your father. I am Uranus. I am in Gemini, building the Death Star. Hopefully he's not really building the Death Star. Please don't do that. Okay, anyway. I turned off some aspects. But just as an example of some beautiful geometry that we have going on in the sky. Take all that away. Alright, we done flying? Okay, good. Now tomorrow, Tuesday, the moon will still be in Libra. The grand trine that made the kite will be breaking up a little bit, and we're still having that. And then the moon will oppose in the pole between, we'll have a feeling between our relationships, feelings about relationships, and the structures around the beliefs about our selfhood, body, how our ego is. So like Aries is kind of like the ego, the body, me, and the Libra is the we, and Leo and Aquarius are like that as well. But Libra is more about our close relationships, and Aries is more about our selfhood, our independence, our ego, what our identity. And Leo is about like what we are, the me, as in the what I showcase to the world and shiny me, but somebody's witnessing me more. That's the Leo. It's another octave. It's the higher. It's, well, not the higher, but it is like a later sign. So it is that fire, next step of fire. When you get to the mastery of fire, that's Sagittarius, right? So we're going into our stages of life. Because Aries represents early life, and the Sagittarius would be the more wise. Not to say that Aries aren't wise too. You're just more of the let's go get it now. You don't have to think as much as the Sagittariuses have to do, because they've seen some things. Seen some more things. But at least they have good spirits about it. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, we have the moon's going to move into Scorpio. We have moony Scorpio. Scorpio is like, that's going to be the most action Scorpio's had in a while, but you guys had enough of that like last year, so now you just going to be feeling. And if you Scorpios are very usually intuitive, because you're a water sign, you're a fixed water sign, so it's very specific generally for Scorpios how they feel things, and intense subsequently, which is why they're so intense. Kind of zany. So the moon will be moving through, so just heads up, Wednesday through Thursday. On Thursday the 25th, Venus will trine Saturn. That's a harmonic degree, so that means that fire and fire is meeting up, meaning Saturn is in Aries, fiery Aries, and Venus is in fiery Leo, and they're both at the same degree of each sign, so they're creating a harmony, like a la together. 13 degrees in Leo and Aries. So Venus is on Wednesday having this activation again about our belief systems, about what we love, netting to where we belong. Where do we belong? And this is as I was saying, Leo is about the me, look at me. Here, let's witness, bear witness. And the ego root of Aries. Saturn, restructuring, being restructured by Saturn. Our belief systems about how we love, where we belong in our bodies is being activated. So that's what's happening for us on Thursday with the moon in Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio will be in a trine. That means a water-to-water activation of the sun. The sun, which is the seat of the soul. And the moon is where our feelings are. So this is like, think about the hemispheres of your brain, like the moon and the sun, the night and the dark, the polarity. So this is where we're activating new neural pathways, or have the opportunity to work with carving new neural pathways, using our practices. And again, always go back to the body movement. If you're lost in thoughts, because thoughts are going to be more expansive, those watery emotional thoughts of the collective, because of Mercury catching up to Jupiter in Cancer and gearing up to move into Leo, where they will directly oppose Pluto in Aquarius. So we're already having expansive, and if you're an empath, you're already feeling the collective Pluto retrograde frustrations. So if most of it doesn't belong to YO universe, it is just a perpetuated collective belief systems that we are working to dissolve in the ether, so that way we can reprogram third density in more preferable ways. Friday. Oh, Friday. Venus will still be in that harmonic aspect, and will emphasize stronger, but she'll have more pull in Leo because she moves faster than Saturn. Saturn is sitting at that 13th degree in Aries, going, okay, really got to restructure how people believe in love and realize they belong, believing in love in their bodies, believe that they love being embodied divinity in form. Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Venus is moving forward, reminding us how to value where we belong and love our thoughts about that belonging. And also love that the fear programs come up. Love them. Love the fear programs. Get curious about them. Because why? Because they're teaching us something. Fear programs are there to prevent us from burning our hands on the proverbial stove. Fire hot. So it's not for nothing that our ancestors experienced said things, and that's in our DNA, right? It informed us not to do eat said poison thing, and then you won't die. So, like, there's useful stuff about the fear programs. We don't need to forget them, but we don't need to let them run and rule our lives and prevent us from experiencing Earth School to the fullest. Leo, Venus in Leo, is getting into the higher degrees and is going to make us value showcasing how we're restructuring our bodies. So if you feel like doing a TikTok and sharing your journey of health and wellness, or Instagram, or just sharing with your friends, just do it. It'll be fun. I actually told my friend, and she showed me how to do a TikTok live yesterday, and I'm like, I feel like such an old lady. My mom is doing more TikTok than me. Mom, aren't you? Because my mom's she's very adventurous and brave, because she's a Leo. She's gonna say the opposite. No, yeah, you got the Leo, Mom, just admit it. So that is what's happening for us on Friday. Friday, the moon moves into Sagittarius on Saturn Day, and it will be in a tug of stretch. I'm not gonna say that other word. A stretch with Uranus and Gemini, and again at the 3rd degree. Here it shows me beliefs. Our beliefs in Sagittarius also rules knowledge and hopes and beliefs. And Uranus in Gemini is also activating our beliefs around our collective duality thought patterns, the seeking for neutrality. The desire is becoming almost viral to seek neutrality. I challenge the world, each individual, to seek neutrality and see how quickly things get resolved. Because it's totally possible. Just gotta let some shift go. That's all. That's not hard, right? Alright, so Saturn Day, and we have another kite forming this day. Boy, let me tell you, this one's even more. Here, let me show this to you. See, there's the moon. There's Mars on the other door side, and Taurus going, "Hey, Gemini, let me in." And then Uranus is like, "Not by the hair of the chitty chid chid. Do you remember the last time you crossed over me? That was nuts." But it's gonna happen. You see, the United States actually has Mars and Uranus and Gemini. So we'll see what happens. That might be fun. Then we have this. So here's the trine between Neptune, boop, and Cancer, Jupiter and Cancer, boop, and the moon. So it's kind of like a dirty trine because the moon moves from Scorpio. It's a water trine, but then it turns into a dirty trine, which means that one of the planets isn't exactly in that same element of water. It moves into fire, but that activates this spine of the kite, and this minor trine, which is these two sextiles, which is these smaller angles, and one trine between Neptune, Jupiter and Mercury, and Uranus and Mars. What does that mean? Neptune is divinity, Aries is form, or is the body, Saturn is form. So this is about our bodies to me, being divinity in form in our body, embodied divinity in form. Chiron is the healer master teacher. He is in Taurus. He is creating new containers for our manifestations. Mars has been helping us take action around our manifestation and reaching the highest point of said manifestation. And now he's going to take his work to the planet Uranus for review. There's Lilith in Sagittarius. So on Sunday, every time the moon goes through Sagittarius at these times, you are going to encounter some false evidence appearing real when it comes to feeling your feelings around your beliefs. Sagittarius. Venus over here in Leo, she says, hi. Oh, ad, go away. Venus in Leo says, hey. Hey, Lilith, chill. Take a chill pill. Everything's cool. Okay, I'm in Leo. Everything's super shiny over here. So she's basically activating our values around our thoughts and what we love, and helping us to open up. Just open up to feeling the fear, because it could be fun. Like skydiving. Some people, I personally don't have any desire to skydive. But dropping in on a wave for some people is scary, like surfing for the first time. Facing a safe container for facing your fear. 21 degrees is when it gets fun, because love and feelings nets to beliefs. Now I use the step astrology system, so shout out to Christopher Witecki, who developed that system, FYI. I can put that in my show notes below on YouTube. So it's a very handy system, helps you out a lot because you use numbers. Numbers are universal language. So yes, that's Sunday, or that's Saturday, and then I go into Sunday. Sunday, we have a beautiful, fiery trine that shows up between Lilith. So we're really gonna have fun. I encourage you to journal, paint, dance, use your fire to recognize the feelings that you're coming in. Also remember, what's the difference? Use to practice. Where do I get this from? Where do I get this feeling from? That Isaac developed. Isaac Box. Where do I get this from? And who does it belong to? Like, where did it originate from? Like, did I make it up, or did I get it from somebody, like a teacher or somebody that I learned it from? How is it for me? Like, why is it coming up? Because, like I said at the beginning, our ancestors wouldn't have developed these fear programs in our DNA for nothing, because, you know, eating said frog was poison. So the frog color makes us go, oh no, I'm not going to eat that. That's the fear programs. They are useful unless they paralyze us and keep us from fulfilling our purpose and full potential. And that is why I work with Lilith a lot, because knowing where she's at, and the nodes, knowing where the nodes are at, it's where the unconscious programs of the collective, and as us in your natal chart as individuals. If you don't know anything about your birth chart, or you know a little bit and want to know more, you can book a reading with me at www.queenmabsy.com in the show notes below. So remembering that we're divinity informed, able to value, even showcasing, doing this in community, in safe containers, and creating safe containers, nurturing oneself, especially as we move through the lovely maternal energy of Cancer season, being that it is moon-led, represents mom in the in the house system. It represents the 4th house of astrology, which represents our deep and maternal ancestry, or the sacred feminine ancestry. Cancer moon people, probably pretty moody. But also very powerful with those feelings. They really have the ability to move a lot of energy. Move. With Mars on Sunday, we'll be at the last degree of Taurus, moving over soon into Gemini on MoonDaze. So next MoonDaze, we will be having Mars in Gemini joining Uranus. It'll kind of be like my kiddo scaring off the chickens with their chicken voice. So I hope that you have a beautiful week and enjoy, and this served and prepared you for the shifts that will happen for us, not to us. And much aloha. Let the airplane carry all the worries away. Alright, let's do like a little clearing with the stone. If you want to just get your third eye up to the camera, peep peep. Scrubby. Alright. Let's do some of these. And 60 degrees on all levels and layers, dimensions. Grounding down into the iron core crystal of the earth and out in infinite loop. Yay! Good job. All right, love you. Aloha. Oh wait, yeah, did you see this? My mom painted this shirt. It's cool, right? Yay. All right, anyway, again, I love you. Bye.